All right. My name is Sean,
And I'm Christina.
and this is the Avoidant Avoidance channel, and this is the AA Test mini episode. Today we'll be covering several topics, including some mental health related topics, a few current events, and ask your opinion on several topics, as well as giving our own. Just want to, just to jump into this, we're new at this completely. We're completely new at this. Am I correct, Christina?
Yes, we're completely new and we've never done anything like this before, but I feel like we have a lot of opinions we can share that'll really shed light on some things, and I think we can really make an impact.
And get your guys' opinion too, because like I said, everyone's opinions matter. Everyone's opinions matter, and I know personally, me having a avoidant personality disorder, it's hard to let people know what your opinion is, and to stand strongly by your opinion. And I feel like a lot of people have opinions that they're just not putting out there, whether it's about mental health or sharing about their mental health or just talking about general topics. I feel like a lot of people don't get to vent correctly about their day or their daily events or their daily life. If you get what I'm saying?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right. So a few topics we want to talk about this week are stranger interaction and losing people. That's two topics we're going to touch on a lot today. Just that's definitely some stuff we have on the docket. Um, like I said earlier, my personal afflictions are avoidant personality disorder. It's hard for me to say I do suffer from some degree of depression. Some days harder than others, and I do have a bit of a problem with losing people. I do definitely have PTSD being growing up in a hard neighborhood and having to see a lot of stuff I shouldn't have saw as a young person, losing a lot of people and things of that nature.
And where did you grow up?
I grew up in Camden, New Jersey. You know that, but I guess for the people, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in Camden, New Jersey. It's one of the poorest and most crime-ridden places in the U.S. I love it there, but it's hard to grow up there. Anyway, so I think that partly has to do with what made me avoidant. Because that's a lot of stuff going on that you don't want to be uh, involved in or caught up around. You kind of just
Right.
stay to yourself. You don't interact with people you don't know, and I guess that leads to our topic with dealing with strangers because um, being avoidant, dealing with strangers is like almost not a thing. It's hard to do. Even a lot of us that have groups or group therapy, or even we use the Facebook group. Both of us do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to even keep up posting in those things. You know what I mean? Because you don't feel like your opinion matters. It makes
Right.
you feel like I have to say something, but who cares about what I have to say?
I feel like everyone in these groups feels that way, which is, I guess, unifying in a way, because if nobody cares, then it's sort of like everybody does.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but you can also feel like everyone doesn't care.
Yeah, I guess it could go either way.
Yeah. So like I shared today on Twitter, and of course, like normal, you get not like normal, but sometimes you get a repost, sometimes you don't. Same thing with Facebook. Sometimes you get a repost, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But didn't get many reposts today. Didn't get many comments, and I feel like I kind of put myself out there. And when you put yourself out there and you get rejected, it's a little hard. But like I said, lately I've been looking at it as a hurdle I have to get over, and
Right.
the way I do that is by it's hard, it's easier to say than to do. I like to get into it just straight away, just all right. So yeah, just complete honesty. We did a little jump cut there. I wasn't feeling very confident in what I was saying, but I like to tackle these things. Well, actually, at first I didn't tackle them. This week I posted a huge post about how it's being avoidant is just taking a lot from me. It's taking a lot of time with my friends, time with my family, and I said I'm just going to deal with it. So I know that's easier said than done, but the way I'm just dealing with it is by going directly at it. The thing I don't want to do, if I don't want to call my friend today or I don't want to answer the phone, I just do it and worry about dealing with the feedback from it on my own. You know what I mean? Like the other day I wanted to tell my friend how I felt about his problem with drinking, and I didn't know how to approach it without upsetting him or hurting his feelings. And you don't want to open up to someone, and like I said before, you get rejected or shot down or something to that effect. So now what I try to do is I just spit it out. I just told him, hey man, look, I love you, and I think you have a serious problem, and if you if you care about me the same way I care about you, then just understand it's hard for me to reach out, and if I'm reaching out to you, that it's of importance. I feel like with people close to you, you can do that and start reaching outward from there. Like it's still hard for me to reach out to strangers and people I don't know. Like we're gonna have to post this on probably the ABPD group, and it's hard for me to do things
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's hard. Yesterday, someone told me to uh, post the post about the podcast in another ABPD group, and because I'm not in that group, it
You
feels like
feel
I'm
out.
yeah, I feel like I'm bombarding their territory with my bull crap, and I don't want to get rejected because of that. I don't want people to just go, oh, you're just using the group for this, that, and the third. I actually care about what you know people think, and this the reason it's called avoid and avoidance because I want people. I'm trying to help myself avoid this avoidance. It's hard to do. It's
Yeah, it
very
is.
very hard to do, and so I need feedback from people. I need opinions from people. If you just tell me I'm stupid, if you just tell me I don't know what I'm doing, if you just tell me I ramble too much, whatever it is, I need that. Whether you know it or not, it's support because I'm trying to take my life back from that. I'm trying to be able to deal with criticism, things I couldn't deal. I couldn't deal with criticism before. Criticism felt like an attack. Do you feel that way? If you get criticized, like maybe by a parent or at work or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, it depends on the situation. If I can talk myself into believing it's constructive, then I can deal with it. But initially it's always a defensive reaction.
So that's how I feel in the Facebook group, but I don't feel like that with strangers. Like the Facebook group, they all don't feel like strangers because they all suffer from
Hmm.
the same thing I do. But I feel like with people without mental illness, I feel like they don't give you that benefit of the doubt that you might be a little bit awkward talking or a little bit it might feel like you're trying too hard to get across your point, but it's because we're not used to engaging with someone that's quote unquote normal. You get what that means? Everyone, when you like for me, example, when I get very quiet, everyone always goes, "Oh, well, you're the quiet person," or they just label me the quiet person, or some people can even think that negatively of you because you're quiet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not too talkative either, and I'm sure at times in your life, maybe when you were younger, people are like, "Oh, that girl doesn't, that she's the quiet one, or she doesn't socialize," or,
Well, it's not necessarily true.
"Oh, well, why not?"
I mean, it could be, but when you're in your personal circle, then you're not necessarily the quiet one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah,
full
yeah. No, okay, I
personality
get what
comes
you're saying.
out.
Yeah, when I'm with my friends, like you said, you see me with my friends the other day, and
Hmm.
I'm completely different. Like I can open up, I can joke, I can laugh, I can talk, but with a stranger, it's like it's almost like dealing with an authority figure to me. That's how I see
Yeah.
it. It's like I don't want to say anything wrong because they might get offended or they might get upset with me or I could lose this person as a friend or I
Hmm.
could just things like that. Like recently we had our own situation with something like that, but I'm not going to get into that too much because it's kind of personal maybe.
Right.
Um, but Yeah, I don't want to talk too long here, but what do you have on dealing with strangers?
Um, it kind of depends. I mean, I've found that I feel most uncomfortable around strange men, and I definitely
Okay.
avoid them in public if I can. And I find myself taking like the long way around when I see some random guy I don't know, or completely shutting down in a way when I'm, in line at the convenience store because I I don't want to deal with that kind of interaction. Or I don't feel like I have the coping mechanisms to deal with that.
Okay. So is there any type of men you don't feel that way around? Is you said strange men, so are strange men a certain type of man, or are strange men you mean strangers that are men?
Yeah, it's usually strangers that are men. I mean, if there's a family member or, significant other that I'm close to, then that doesn't count. But
Okay, all right.
yeah, it
So
really depends.
so even in like a social media setting, if a man were to approach you a certain way that you might feel might be flirtatious or seeking your attention, it might like
Yeah, I definitely feel really uncomfortable with that. I feel like I I can realize that I overreact, but it still happens, and I feel very
okay,
panicky
okay. So
and
sorry to cut you off, but you mean like when people, so like if maybe a man you can tell is being genuine calls you sweetheart because just maybe it's
yeah,
the way they talk, or a woman
yeah,
calls you sweetheart, you can deal with that. But when it's like someone you feel as though is calling you sweetheart in a tone of affection, or a tone of you take everything as a tone of what's the word I'm looking for there, like you explained it better because you it's how you feel.
I mean, I mean, it feels a little bit narcissistic, but it feels like everyone's after me, and it's just a feeling I can't shake.
Okay, yeah, dude, it's not narcissistic. You don't feel like you don't feel like you're oh my god, I'm just this great person that everyone wants. You feel like that the way people interact now, especially like with men, the way men holler, quote unquote, at women, like, "Hey, how you doing, beautiful?" Like, and things like that. You don't want that.
No,
You don't want
no.
that, and you don't want for if you don't mind me saying, the guy at the store who was constantly complimenting you. It might have been genuine compliments. It might have been him trying to court you, but either
Yeah.
way, you didn't want that attention.
Yeah, and I don't have the proper coping skills to tell this person I'm uncomfortable and
Right,
please stop.
right. Okay. So that's the same way I feel, but with everyone.
Right.
With everyone, no matter whether it's some people compliment my voice. I despise my voice. So some people compliment my voice, and it's like, oh, what do they want from me? They must be like saying something to get like me to what do they want? Like why are they it can't just be a compliment. It can't just be a passing conversation. It's always, I feel like you said, like they're after something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think I can work on that a little bit. I think you can also work a little bit by just thinking of try to think of everyone the way you think of the people in the AVPD groups or the Rimworld groups that you're in. Like,
Mhm.
they're just people. I know like when we are in these groups, we have a video game in common, or a disorder in common, or a topic we're all interested in common. But the one thing we all have in common is we all are human, and we all suffer from our own anxiety. So that person might be just as anxious about passing you, and it may be, that awkward small talk makes them feel just as awkward as you do, or maybe that
Yeah.
thing they said to you came out the wrong way, but you would never know if you don't give it a chance. Now, of course, some people are going to be, you know, definitely you're female trying to quote unquote holler at you, or
Mhm.
talk to you or whatever. And either way, you deserve to say you don't want that attention. And yeah, that's it on that. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's it's hard to deal with strangers, and we all have our own problems dealing with strangers. I would like to know how the people listening deal with strangers. I know a lot of us. I'm going to be posting this in the AVPD group, so hopefully, if you're listening, can give us some comments about how you feel about dealing with strangers. I know it's hard to open up about things like that, but I'd like to hear some stories about maybe some stranger interaction you've had, or just things of that nature where you feel uncomfortable and you step out of your comfort zone, and whether you have a good interaction because of it or you have a bad interaction because of it. All right, again, again, we're jump cutting again because yeah, I just want to keep it authentic with you guys. We're new to this, and
This is hard,
this is
guys.
harder than you think it is. But yeah. Anyway, this is where I want to do a topic. This is where I'm. It's not a topic. Sorry. This is where I'm gonna put a segment of just venting. Whether people, I don't know if I'm gonna get people to call in or maybe write in to Twitter using hashtags or maybe even do PMs, DMs, PMs, DMs, whatever the messages are that are private, so that people can talk with anonymity about their day or their good day or their bad day, or maybe they need advice on something, or maybe they just had a cool life event they want to talk about. Maybe their birthday was today. Maybe they want to shout out or something. I don't know, whatever. But just to vent about your day. And do you have anything that you want to talk about or vent about from this week at all?
I mean, it's been a week. Um, I I had a lot going on this week. I lost a patient that I'd been working with for a few weeks, and
By
I
patient, you mean
a cat.
yeah, you work at.
I'm a vet tech at a cat only clinic. It's wild, as you imagine. Cats are crazy.
Mhm.
But this specific cat I was pet sitting for was not crazy. He was actually a very sweet cat,
Yeah, poor baby.
and yeah, he had irritable bowel syndrome as well as newly becoming a diabetic, and I was helping to take care of him. And over the past couple of weeks, he hadn't been eating super well and he was acting a little bit strange, but the owner had to go away on a trip that she couldn't get out of.
Right,
And yeah, she wanted me to watch him. So I thought I could handle it, and I still feel like I did handle it. But what ended up happening was the the other day I walked into the house and I gave him his insulin as I always do, but then I noticed he wasn't acting himself.
right,
And I picked him up and he was all wobbly, and I started freaking out. And my anxiety was getting to me, like what did I do? What could I have done? What's happening right
right,
now? And it was just a lot of thoughts running through my head, but I knew that I needed to call the owner because it's their cat.
right.
That's important. So
Was that hard to do as well? Because I know it's hard to talk to people. Is it hard to tell someone that did it ramp up your anxiety having to call her and talk to her about?
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah. She was super great about it. She was a really nice woman, but me calling her, my heart was racing. I was getting all sweaty, and I couldn't concentrate. I had to get my words kind of in line before I could call her because I didn't know what to even say. That her cat is in like an emergency
right.
situation.
Yeah, yeah. So how did that turn out?
So it didn't turn out great. I brought him into work with me because I took care of him 5 minutes for my job, and being at a cat only clinic, it made sense to bring him in. So when I brought him in, his blood glucose was 25, and the normal
Wow.
glucose range is between 80 and
So
120.
that's really really low.
It's very low. And I took his temperature, and that was 95. And the normal range is
Wow.
99 and a half to 102 and a half. So, unfortunately, that meant that his organs were shutting down.
Oh man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I kind of knew the gist of what you had to go
Yeah.
through with that, but
It's a lot. And I felt like I did something, which is, it's possible that I had a part in this, but I don't know what part that was. Either way, it wasn't intentional or it wasn't
right.
in
he
any
he was
way.
an older cat. He had a lot of issues.
Yeah,
It was
he had a lot going on. So, anyway, I ended up calling the owner and telling her what what a serious condition he was in, and eventually she elected to euthanize him. It was a very selfless decision on her part because she knew that she wasn't there with him,
right,
and maybe we could have had him hang on until she got home in a couple of
right.
days.
But she wanted obviously to him. He wasn't having a good quality of life at that moment,
Right,
and
right.
she wanted him to.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, she didn't want him to suffer.
right.
So she made a very loving decision, and she asked me to sit there with him and tell him how much she loved him, and I did just that. And that's been eating at me all week because I feel like my generalized anxiety disorder is really eating at me, and it's just like, well, what did I do? What could I have done? What
It's
what
making you
should I
feel
do in the
like,
future?
yeah, it's making you feel like every think about every possible thing you could have or couldn't have done
Yeah,
to, yeah, and it's pretty easy to blame yourself in situations where it's pretty easy to blame yourself in general for any situation, especially you have, like you
yeah,
said, generalized anxiety disorder. I have avoidant personality disorder, so like when when I lose a friend or when someone stops talking to me, I automatically go, it's my fault. I know it's not the same degree of,
yeah. No, I
a pet
understand that.
dying or something, but it's
Yeah,
easy to blame yourself. And like I told you before, I don't think it's your fault. Could you have done things differently? Maybe you don't. I mean,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I mean, he was an older cat. He had a lot of issues. He could have. It could have just been his time, is what I'm saying. And I think you did a good thing. I think this woman who made the decision to, put her cat's quality of life over her own need to be there for him was very selfless. I think that was a
mm-hmm.
very good thing. And I would hope if something happened to my cat, my my little baby, my Itbit,
Yeah,
I would hope someone like you was there to actually give her comfort and actual care. And that you weren't just like, oh well, something happened, and
right.
I think you took it more than your responsibility just because your job is working with cats. I think it was a personal thing to you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. It definitely was. And I when I care for these animals, I think of them as my own. And
We think of them as our own, of course, whether it's a dog, a cat.
yeah,
Yeah, we we take it, pretty
yeah,
hard when something happens to them.
yeah, definitely. Do you have anything you'd like to vent about?
This week, what was it?
It was.
Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went to hang out with my close friends, my brothers. They're not my blood brothers. One's name's Willie, one's name's Dave. I mean, I don't think they'll mind me using their names in this. They know I'm doing the podcast. They've been encouraging me to do it for a while. They've been encouraging me to put myself out there more
Mm-hmm.
because they want me to open up and be able to be around them and be able to be around people and be able to they understand what the disorder does to me.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah, they're very supportive. And so I just went. I was like, oh man, wish I could hang out with my friends today. And they're all playing games and doing things that I like to do, and they're watching stuff together and just hanging out and being a little family. And I don't have a strong family relationship and a strong support system. So my four brothers are like, that's it. They're everything to me, and they're just very close to me, and I really appreciate all the support they give me. But I just got up that day and decided to tackle that. Decided to that no, not I'm going to feel like I want to go see my friends. I'm going to go see my friends. And of course, I invited you, and you came
Mm-hmm.
later in the day, and we talked about a lot of things in that day. Actually, we talked about one of my friends talked about how he was my brother Willie talked about how he was in a bad relationship at one point, and he was losing his friends due to that. And I've been in that situation before too, where a friend or a spouse or something causes you to lose another friend or relationship or something like that. It's
Yeah.
just in general, he opened up to me, And I feel like that wouldn't have happened if I didn't go that day. I feel like that wouldn't have happened over the phone. That wouldn't have happened in the Xbox party when we're playing the game. I feel like that had to be an in-person conversation. Like I said before, I talked to my other friend about his issues with drinking. I don't. It's not a bad thing, or people drink, but I just wanted to make sure he knew that we didn't want it to become a problem, which I don't feel like I said, would have happened if we weren't together in person and all of us. I just had a good day that day for my mental health and for my just personal reasons of, just getting to hang out and laugh and hang out with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. But also, I feel like mentally, I feel like that put me in this mind state where that night I posted, I'm done with this. I'm done with I had such a great time with my friends. I don't want to have something that stops me from doing that. Just like yesterday, I almost was stopped from doing that. But I got it together and I ended up hanging out with my brothers at night, playing the game and stuff like that. But that was very meaningful to me. That was almost like a spiritual awakening. It was like
Mm-hmm.
when I was sitting there with them and we're all laughing and joking and listening to music, it was like I felt love. And a lot of that is it's men don't express their emotions a lot, and I do. I like to say, I love you, bro, and whatever like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I felt love. I felt that these people cared about me, and that no matter what it was, I can come talk to them. I can come, hang out with them or tell them about deep things. Like one of them asked what ABPD was exactly, and I told them, and he was really supportive about it. He was like, if I can ever do anything to make you feel comfortable, then I will. Just tell me, and I'll help you get A, B, C, D to make you feel comfortable in this environment. And that made me feel good because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think maybe he cared enough about my situation. I just thought maybe he'd go, "Oh, you're antisocial," or something like that.
So, what exactly is avoidant personality disorder? I don't feel like a lot of people know.
It's when you I don't know if it's I don't want to say you create, but it's when events and traumas and things of that nature create a series of habits to enable you to avoid situations. So, um, for me, it's hard to talk on the phone. It's hard to meet with strangers, as I said
Mm-hmm.
earlier. It's hard to even hang out with my friends because I feel judged or something like that. But these you create these barriers like, um, oh, I don't. Oh, it's your who's there. I don't want to be there because this person's there
Mm-hmm.
when it's not really that person at all. That whoever it is, you create an excuse. It's not really an excuse. It's in your mind. Like you go, I feel like I don't look that good today. So when you don't feel like you look that good today, you go, oh, if I don't look good today, I'm not going to go outside. There's no reason to go outside if the weather's bad anyway. But avoidant person, it's literally what it is. It's avoidant personality disorder. It creates you create habits that allow you to avoid things in your life. And for me, it's it's very bad. I post, like I said, that post is going to keep coming up because it was a big important post to me. And sorry, yeah, it's still hard to talk about, but my I don't I have a lot of people who care for me,
Mm-hmm. You
and
do.
I I I I push them away, and I push them away because of reasons like, oh, I'm in pain today, so because my injuries, I have pain, so I'll use that as an excuse, or maybe I'll go, oh well, I don't like that movie anyway, so I don't want to go see it with you guys or something like that. Or I'll use my, like, for example, if our house isn't tidying up enough, I'll go, oh no, you guys can't come over this weekend because our house isn't tidying up enough. Even though I know I could do that in a matter of a day,
Right.
or something like that. It's it's hard. A lot of people just call it being antisocial or something like that, but it's deeper rooted than that. It's because for me, it's because like being called ugly when you're a kid, or something like that, or your parents always telling you, just do what I say, so you don't get to express yourself and things like that. So for me, it's just a lot of feeling like people care about what I have to say. Why would anyone care about what a person who they think is ugly or boring, or why would they care about my opinions? So for me personally, I can't speak about what avoidant personality is to everyone, but it's just avoiding things that people would normally tackle.
Mm.
So yeah, like I said, I'm still new to this, so you cut this down however you want. But it's avoiding avoiding your emotions and your anxiety. Like perfect example. Today when I messaged one of my friends, they didn't reply back, and that made me, instead of just a regular reaction of them not replying back, like, oh, they're busy or whatever, because me being avoidant, it was like, oh, well, now I can't answer the phone if they call back because I don't know like what they're going to say. I feel nervous and things like that.
Right.
Um, but yeah. Anyway. We got off track from the me venting about my day into the
Yeah.
AVPD.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you want to look it up, there's plenty of stuff and information on it. There's plenty of groups. There's plenty of people. It's different with everyone. Just like if you had depression is different with everyone. I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah.
I'm sure you suffer to a degree of something with depression, correct? With
Right.
GAD.
And I feel like my symptoms are different than yours, or they show completely differently.
Okay, yeah, but you understand what it means.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so yeah, but besides that, anyway, back to my week. My week with my friends, my day with my friends was great, and it's been causing me to have a great week with them, and maybe even maybe we'll play something tonight or whatever. Maybe we won't, but it won't make me feel like it's because of me. It won't make I always take it personally when someone doesn't want to do something with me, or someone doesn't want to be around me, or someone doesn't have the time for me. But now, because we have these talks, I know that they care and they're there, and that it's just they're busy, or just wait a minute, or give them a chance to respond to you, or something like that.
Right.
Right. Do you have anything else you want to vent about this week?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I was pretty busy week. I mean, just that whole thing with that cat. You
Right.
know, it might seem insignificant to some people, but it's really important to me, and um, it's kind of a big thing that happened. But other than that, I don't feel like anything significant happened this week.
Okay. Um, so yeah, we want to open this forum to have other people vent about their things. Send us your stories about your day, or did you confront something this week that is hard for you to confront? Did you what's another thing like that? Did you confront something that's hard for you to confront? Did
Step out
you
of your shell.
yeah, did you do something that you normally wouldn't do, and how get did you get a positive reaction from it, or did you get a negative reaction from it?
Yeah.
Was the feedback when you stepped out of your shell? Did you feel good about the outcome, or did you feel bad about the outcome, or whatever the story was? We'd like to hear it because
Definitely.
depression, AVPD, anxiety, uh, being antisocial, whatever you want to call it, we all have our own things that make us who we are, and I want to explore that and explore these stories of how people deal with their everyday life. Everyone has some degree of mental health that plays a part in their week,
Yeah.
whether it's just general anxiety or something else. Everyone has that in them.
Yeah, nothing's too insignificant. There's, people who will be anxious the night before a test, and
Yeah,
that's
if you
that's
feel
their big
anxious, yeah,
anxiety.
if you feel anxious because of that, something like that, you had a big test. We'd like to hear about it because we want people to know that anxiety isn't just, oh, I'm just anxious because I I have, like you said. All right, let's use this as an example. I don't want people to think that that's insignificant, because being anxious and having anxiety
It's
is
always valid.
is always valid, and you need to I guess validate it yourself, because you need to. I want people to feel like this forum. The reason it's called avoiding avoidance is because it's supposed to help you avoid the things you would normally avoid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What I
right.
mean by that is if you would normally avoid talking on the phone, do that today. And we want to check on you guys, to see if you guys actually follow through with these things. And I'm not a therapist. I just have these disorders myself. But I want to create a community where everyone can feel embraced. Everyone can feel,
Supported.
yeah. So where you could come in and say, "Oh man, my mom really laid into me today about not having a job," or "Oh, my significant other doesn't understand how antisocial I am sometimes," or "My significant other doesn't understand being like alone with me," or any myriad of things that you wanted to do or wanted to say to this week that you didn't get to say. We're gonna leave hashtags and pages. Mine is at avoiding petty D1 on Twitter, I believe. I'm gonna leave it in the comments anyway, and we'll leave the hashtags and things like that. We'll post just the email address so that people can write into us.
Yeah.
Because nothing is too small, nothing is too insignificant. All right, again, this is our final jump cut. I'm probably gonna stop telling you guys when we do this, but like I said, I'm trying to be really open and honest. Because I want good feedback. I want you guys to feel like you're a part of our growth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And so this week, as a sort of homework for any of our listeners, whether you have a mental disorder or don't have a mental disorder, I'd like you to do something to step out of your comfort zone. Whether that's go go somewhere you haven't been or are usually against going, or doing something you don't normally do. Try eating a new food. Try playing a new video game. Try reading a new type of book. Uh, Try to express something you don't normally express. And also, like I said, we're going to leave our social medias and things
Mm-hmm.
like that so that people can, after trying this sort of homework, give us
Give
their
us some
stories,
feedback. Yeah.
because we want to have more topics on the episodes that aren't the mini episodes. We're going to do longer format episodes, which are going to have more topics and more interaction from you guys, where you guys can, we can read your comments, put your comments on the screen, or if you're anonymous, we'll read them out and, tell stories to each other and um, help each other embrace each other and understand one another a little bit better, you know, because I feel like a lot of people don't want to step out of their shell because they don't feel like anyone will listen. I want people to feel like people will listen here. We all will listen. I'm definitely listening. I know you're definitely listening, and yeah, I just want everyone to, like I said, embrace each other. And so next week,
Not in a weird way.
no, no, not no, not in a weird way at all. Just we want you to embrace being yourself. Embrace being yourself here. That's what I want to say. I want you to embrace being yourself and feeling like you can be yourself around other people. You know, I'm personally, it's the internet, so people might say things, people might, do things. I'm not personally going to let anyone, uh, victimize you or shame you or anything like that, because I don't want to be myself. I don't want that to happen, and I'm here to build a positive community. So if you guys ever feel any negative interaction from anyone in the community or from me, I want you to let me know, because I want this to be an open forum. But next week, our topics are going to be. I think we're going to touch on losing people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch on PTSD, like you said, because I was talking about where I'm from and
Yeah.
being from Camden, New Jersey, and how it was hard and how maybe the PTSD helped me become avoidant.
Right.
Um, and a little bit more about our personal afflictions. But we want you guys to talk to us. We want you guys to suggest topics. We want you guys to control the dialogue and the conversation. So if you guys have any ideas for any topics, any segments we want to do that you want us to do, or any stories you want us to tell, maybe you confronted something this week and we can use that as a big example. If you want just a shout out or just to know someone's there, we're here. And um, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say this week.
Yeah. Um. So we're gonna wrap it up, but the main thing that we want to portray is that we're really open. So we want you guys to participate and make this your podcast as much as it's our podcast.
Yeah, definitely. If you even want to just tell us, oh, you guys are idiots and you're just rambling, you don't know what you're talking about, cool with me. It's feedback. I'll deal with it. I mean, that's part of the avoiding the avoidance is tackling these things head on. And yeah, we'll leave you guys the hashtags and new topics, and we'll be doing these mini shows maybe 3 times a week, something like that, and we'll be doing the long format episodes once a week to get all of you guys topics and suggestions and feedback in one episode, so that that's going to be our AA meeting, our avoidance meeting. We're going to call that the other AA, and however, however people take that, they take that. But yeah, this is our space and it's your space as well. And that's about it. Christina, anything else?
I think that's about it.
All right. I've been Sean. This has been Christina, and this has been an avoidance minisode. And we hope to hear back from you guys anytime soon. And remember to keep avoiding that avoidance.